So I guess my question is, should anyone be happy with Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator? Not Alex Van Pelt, the quarterback's coach. And we mentioned this in passing yesterday, and I think it's worth circling back to before we get to some of the praise and development that's being talked about for Drake Maye right now. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Well,
but
I think if you fully understand the personnel and you could understand what they have going up front, what they have around him, what the running game is, how it's constructed, comparative to the other 31 NFL teams, I think then right there, you can make your assumption. You can make your decision as to whether, is he doing a good job or not. You got three veteran receivers that can't get on the field. You understand that? Thornton can't get active, first of all. I mean, barely KJ Osborne is out there. I can't believe he played the snaps he played. Felt to me like he played 5 snaps. And Kendrick Bourne didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 veteran receivers. You're running around with a bunch of rookies and a second-year guy. A couple tight ends and a back. Pretty good back. An offensive line that is somewhat stayed healthy here these 2 weeks. That's about it. Now you can make your assumptions and decisions on
when did we think the Patriots offense was at its worst in the last few years?
2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago, 2022, under...
Which is crazy because they had more big plays under Matt Patricia than they did under Billy OBrien.
They sure did. In fact,
insane.
Are you aware
the offense was technically worse a year ago?
That Patriots team averaged 314 yards per game on offense?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know that points-wise in 2022, that the Patriots team were middle of the pack at 21.4?
Yeah.
They had at least a dozen teams behind them in the standings, in the rankings. Last year, statistically, it got worse than it was in 2022, which you say, wow, I mean,
year you're talking about.
You thought you had nowhere to go but up, but last year the Patriots finished third to last with 276.2 yards per game, and points per game by the end tied for dead last at 13.9 with the Carolina Panthers. Do you want to know where they are now?
Pretty close to that number.
Yeah, pretty damn close to that number. In fact, they rank in yards in the NFL dead last in offensive yardage per game, 271.1. They are second to last in points scored. What is it about Alex Van Pelt, other than him developing Drake Maye, that anyone should be happy with? What is it?
I don't know.
For 9 weeks, we watched an offense that really did not try to break its mold.
Yeah.
It's vanilla, boring mold. You saw a little bit of imagination being used. Some of it was damn ugly, like the flea flicker just to run a screen for 8 yards.
Hot potato,
I
right?
appreciate the effort, Alex Van Pelt.
You didn't like hot potato, right?
But I'm sorry, when it comes to offensive coordinator, you don't get a pass because you're developing a quarterback. You don't need an OC to do that. You need an OC to develop an offense for that quarterback that results in that quarterback's abilities racking up yards, racking up points, and ultimately wins. And I just don't know how you're going to get there with this guy. So I would say if I were Gerard Mayo, dude, pump the brakes. You didn't hire a quarterback's coach. You hired an offensive coordinator. He's only doing a small part of the job by getting Drake Maye to be a better pro quarterback. That's not why you need him. You need him for more than that.
Problem is you felt like your rookie head coach that openly talks, and I think he's feeling pretty good coming off a win. He's going to be very complimentary. Maybe you get a different answer if you're coming off a loss or coming out of that London game. I don't know. But Gerard likes to tell you how he feels, and I think that is how he feels. I mean, you look at that offense 2 years ago. We were angry at that offense, that Matt Patricia offense, but they produced. Mac Jones had his biggest plays of his career here as a Patriot quarterback that year. People are telling me before we're doing games, there was a stretch when Hunter Henry got healthy that Mac Jones and Hunter Henry through 8 games was the best tight end combination, better than Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I'm like, you're effing crazy. Then I look at the numbers, and I'm like, you're reading numbers? They were decent numbers 2 years ago. But yet we view it as a horrific year. A really, really bad year. And you just give last year credit because you have a guy in Bill OBrien that you respect.
Yeah, what if you gave Bill OBrien this quarterback last year, where would they be? Ooh. Where would they have been a year ago?
He'd probably have him doing half-move stuff like he had Deshaun Watson doing that first year he had Deshaun playing at an MVP level before he tore his ACL. Deshaun Watson, I remember prepping for that game when Houston came here. That was a Brandon Cooks touchdown catch game. And I think that's when he jumped on Gronk's back, right? Yeah. We were prepping going into that game, and Deshaun Watson was the leader for MVP. He was playing at that level. Like, just dicing us up. He diced us up every time we played him. And Billy was coaching him. And Billy had that dude ready to go. I mean, he would have Drake Maye ready to go.
When it comes to moving the football, Alex Van Pelt running offenses is not a good track record. In terms of movement, getting the ball down the field, yards, the Patriots are dead last, 32nd right now in the NFL. Last year in Cleveland, they were 16th. They were just making the cutoff to be in the top half of the league. In 2022, they were 14th, so they were top half of the league, barely. 18th the year before that, 16th the year before that in Cleveland. And I just don't know what it is that makes you think that this is getting better offensively. They got a better quarterback. That helps.
No, but I think that's what masks a lot of this, right? The excitement surrounding Drake Maye and that it actually looks like you have a quarterback versus what the offense actually looks like.
And at what point do you watch Drake Maye and say, man, this offense should be better even with the lack of a supporting cast? Shouldn't this be somewhat better? Shouldn't it be better than what it is so far? I mean, I feel like it should be. I'm not exactly thinking that they're doing everything they can. So I don't know. I hear all this praise this week, and it's like, man, if you're going to sign yourself up for this again, you might be left disappointed. If this is the offense you want to develop this quarterback in, and you think it's going to, again, right now you don't have this expectation of wins. Next year, that's going to change. You actually have to score points. You can't be dead last in the league in yards. You can't be third to last in points. That's not going to fly.
No, and I would want to be proactive with the situation too, right? You don't get to next year with the expectations, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a second, Van Pelt isn't the guy. I mean, half the stuff with the Matt Patricia offense was the fact that it was year 2 for Mac Jones, coming off of a playoff season, and everyone thinks they're going to take this big leap, and wait, what does this offense actually look like?
Yeah, I've seen an offense that didn't use motion before. It was Matt Patricia's. It was Matt Patricia's 2 years ago.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.